Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, your digital news desk host, and it is Wednesday, May 21st. I have a lot of news to get into today, but first I want to thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on our website, WLBT.com, or through our mobile app, thank you so much. And if you're tuning in on any of our social streams, thank you for tuning in there as well. Don't forget, you can always join the conversation, leave a comment in the comment section. If you had a question, thoughts, suggestions, anything like that, you can leave that in the comment section. And I appreciate all of you for tuning in. We get people from all over the place joining in on our social stream. So we really appreciate you guys. So before we jump into the news, let's take a look outside over Ridgeland, courtesy of our Renaissance Skycam. It is a gorgeous day outside, absolutely gorgeous. You can see, oh goodness, it's not working. Okay, well, we won't show you that then. But it is a very pretty day outside. I'm sure that you have been outside and look, you can see no clouds in the sky and just abundant sunshine out there. We're going to be looking at our forecast in just a little bit. So stay tuned with us for that. And also our First Alert weather team will be in here at 2:30 today to give you a more in-depth look on the forecast. But I can tell you that it's looking pretty nice for the rest of the week. Let's go ahead and jump into the news now. We are going to be starting with a shooting that happened. It was here in Jackson that this shooting happened. So here on your screen, you can see the map of where it happened. So it was in the 600 block of Fremont Street, which is near People's Middle School in Southwest Jackson. The three on your side arrived to the scene just after 3:15 this morning, where our crews did see someone being loaded into the ambulance. So Tommy Brown with the Jackson Police Department told us that a male reported he had been shot. There were no other details available at that time. This is an ongoing investigation, and as we get more information, we will update you on air and online. And we have some surveillance video, some pretty shocking surveillance video that captured the drive-by shooting that happened in Canton, where a woman was grazed by a bullet during this blaze of gunfire. So let me open the map up on the screen for you. You can see this happened at a convenience store on George Washington Street, which is near Singleton Street. And you can see on the map here on your screen where that is. It's a couple of blocks north of West Peace Street. This is one of the several shootings that has actually occurred in the city within the last month. I'm going to play the surveillance video for you now. It is a little jarring, so just be prepared when you first watch it. So you can see here there are two suspects who are dressed all in black, fleeing from the scene after firing off the round of shots. According to Sergeant Jeremy Gooden with the Canton Police Department, a female was grazed by a bullet. You can also see where the Brooklyn Mark corner store, their windows were shot out, and a parked vehicle outside of the store was also riddled with bullets. Investigators are working to determine the motive for this shooting.
I think that it's a multifaceted issue. I don't think that any one person or one organization should shoulder all of the blame, but I think that all of us have to come together now to make a difference right now in this moment going forward.
So the condition of the shooting victim has not been released. If you do have any information on this, please contact Canton Police Department or Crime Stoppers. And a Canton man is now behind bars after pleading guilty to framing his wife, or his ex-wife rather, for drug possession. So 47-year-old Kenneth Ray Jackson pled guilty yesterday to the transfer of methamphetamine as a non-violent habitual offender. So back in June of last year, the Madison County Sheriff's Department received a call that a woman was dealing a large amount of drugs. Well, during the investigation, they discovered that the caller was Jackson, the man here on your screen, and he was actually accusing his estranged wife of selling the drugs. Well, later they found out that it was actually him. He was the one that was dealing the drugs. He will now serve 18 years in prison without the possibility of parole. And some of you over in Richland are speaking out after erosion in that area has impacted several properties over there. So here is the map of where the subdivision we're talking about is located. You can see Old Highway 49 South and Cleary Road, and it's the Richmond Point subdivision. So it's been over 8 years since the area was developed, and since then, many problems have happened due to the erosion. So you can see in the video here where massive holes in many of the backyards, lots of cracks inside and outside of homes. Some of the land in the back of the subdivision has completely caved in. The president of the Homeowners Association there says that they have reached out to the city for help, but they say no change has happened in years.
I'm sure that a lot of people that live in Richland, Mississippi, does not know what's going on in our neighborhood, the newest development. Only thing when they come through, they see beautiful homes, and they are. They're beautiful homes. We love it over here. It's quiet, peaceful. We feel safe. We're close. But when one suffers, all suffer. And that's the way I see it.
3 on Your Side did reach out to Richland Mayor Clay Burns about the situation, but he did decline to do an interview. And residents in southwest Rankin County, listen up. There's a boil water notice that has been issued for the Florence and Cleary area. So Southwest Rankin Water Association says a contractor for C-Spire was digging at the intersection of Hickory Ridge Road and Pierce Road when they hit a pipe. What happened next? Well, it resulted in the complete emptying of the adjacent 150,000 gallon water tower. Could you imagine being there when that happened? So 400 meters were affected by this. Southwest Rankin Water Association says the loss of water was so great that it caused a sinkhole the size of a car at the damaged site and washed out the edge of the road on the opposite side. I can imagine with 150,000 gallons of water coming spewing from the ground that would happen. So if you are in that area, just be aware you are under a boil water notice right now, and we will alert you when that boil water notice has been lifted. And the city of Jackson is now under a hiring freeze for the rest of the current mayor, Chokwe Antar Lumumba, for the rest of his administration. In a unanimous vote, the Jackson City Council approved an ordinance at last night's council meeting to stop new hiring within the executive branch through the end of June. What that means is that all departments under the city of Jackson, including fire, police, and legal departments, are all affected by this. So the ordinance was added to the meeting last night as an emergency item to the agenda. Ordinances usually don't go into effect until 30 days after they are approved. The council had to vote to suspend the rules to expedite the ordinance's passage so that it would take effect immediately. According to the mayor's chief of staff, the office of the city attorney has been actively searching for new attorneys. Council President Virgie Lindsay says they did not want to look at each department individually and confirmed that this hiring freeze would in fact affect all of the departments.
Okay, even our city attorney's office that's been interviewing and trying to bring in new attorneys.
That's what we're saying. We really need to hold off on hiring any more people in the city of Jackson between now and the end of this term.
So it looks like David Archie got in just in the nick of time because he was announced on a Monday that he was hired as a mayor's office staff assistant. And in March, Taquari Abdullah Tawab was named the deputy director of public works over administration. So, of course, a new administration will be chosen following the general election, which is happening on June the 3rd. And we have some new information about the murder case of an Ole Miss student. The suspect in the case wants a change of venue. So Timothy Harrington Jr., let me turn this down for you. Timothy Harrington Jr. is accused of killing Ole Miss student Jimmy J. Lee. Harrington was newly indicted on a 2-count capital murder charge connected to the death of Lee after remains were identified in early February. So according to court documents, Harrington is citing the extensive news coverage, social media posts, and negative publicity as reasons for his motion for a venue change. Harrington's new trial date has been set for October the 13th, and a mistrial was declared in the first trial. Whether or not this motion for a change of venue has been approved or not, we do not know, but as soon as we get that information in, we will, of course, update you. And happening here in Jackson, many of you have reached out to us because of concerns with your water bills being inaccurate. Well, now we're taking those concerns directly to Jackson Water, which of course is the company that oversees the water system. So workers with Jackson Water said that they are aware that some residents are being charged for water that they're not using, and most times this is caused by water leaks. Well, in fact, you may remember last week we reported about a man who received a bill for nearly $130,000. Water leak was the reason for this bill being so high. So if you think that you have an inaccurate bill or a water leak, you're asked to call Jackson Water's customer service line to have your bill readjusted. The company or the water company says readjusting a bill can take up to a month or longer, which is why they are asking customers for a little bit of patience during this process.
We look at your consumption rate over a 6-month period before you had a leak, right? So if your average consumption was just $111, right, we're going to adjust your bill down to what you would have paid normally sans the leak. So we're not even charging customers for the water that came through their meter because of a leak, right? Once it's identified and a plumber has fixed the issue or our water technician has addressed any meter issue, then we're adjusting your account. But that takes time in between.
So if you have any issues with your water bill, you're asked to call this number here on your screen, 601-500-5200. This is Jackson Water's 24/7 customer service line. You can contact them there. And in light of former President Joe Biden being diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer, he's now urging other men to get regular testing, and I can totally agree with that urging. Well, Dr. Joseph Turner, he is an internal medicine specialist, and he sees about 15 to 20 patients each year with an elevated PSA or a prostate-specific antigen levels. He recommends yearly testing to determine if your levels are high. Symptoms include difficulty urinating, slower urination stream than usual, frequently having to go day and night, and even back pain.
It's worth it. Go through the process. It's worth going through the process. And, if anything you can do for your body, get it done.
The 5-year survival rate for prostate cancer when it's caught locally and caught regionally is 100%. What does that mean, Dr. Turner? That means that everyone is alive after 5 years of being diagnosed, if it's caught early or caught locally.
According to the American Cancer Society, prostate is the second leading cause of cancer death in men. I lost my best friend, very dear friend from Meridian a few years back to prostate cancer. And so along with former President Joe Biden, I also urge you to get tested. It is simply a blood test. So just go get tested. if you are a man, get it done. Get it done yearly. It is very important because, as we say, the American Cancer Society says that prostate cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in men. And if it's caught early, there is a 100% survival rate. Like the doctor said, if you're caught at 5 years or early, then there is a 100% survival rate. So please go get tested. Before we look at our forecast, we're going to hear from our sponsors over at Jackson Water.
Hey Jackson, curious about our water system? Join the Jackson Water Academy to get the inside scoop on our water and sewer operations. 3 sessions, 3 months, and a whole lot of hands-on know-how. You'll even get a behind-the-scenes tour of the O.B. Curtis Water Treatment Plant. So if you're ready to dive in, head to jacksonwater.com/water academy or give us a ring at 601-500-5200 to apply. But hurry, spots are going fast.
And again, thanks to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus, making it possible for us to bring you this content weekdays at 1. Well, let's take a look at our forecast right now. I told you it was a really nice day outside. Looking at our current temperatures, you can see that we are sitting in the mid 80s, which actually were cooler than we were yesterday before the storms rolled in. So we're sitting in the mid 80s across the area. Our current radar is clear. There's no rain in our area. And if we look over the next 12 hours, you can see where we're not expecting any rain. We are expecting it to drop down to the mid 60s overnight, which should be pretty nice. And if we look at the next 7 days, you see we are expecting a little bit of rain on Saturday and Sunday here around the capital city. Monday, Memorial Day, we're looking at a 60% chance of rain, but I'm going to let the First Alert weather team tell you more about that and give you more details today at 2:30. So make sure you are here to hear from your First Alert weather team to get the details on your weekend and Memorial Day forecast.
Now, Fight the Blight, a year-long investigation from WLBT. 3 on your side.
And again, this is a continuation of our year-long series that we're doing here at WLBT, trying to bring a light to some of the blighted areas within the capital city here in Jackson, hoping that by bringing the light, shedding the light on these areas, that we can help inspire or promote a positive change forward for the city of Jackson. Well, just 1 week after we told you about the mounds of garbage that were stacking up at Chapel Ridge Apartments in Jackson, the mess is now gone. So after the Mississippi Department of Health began investigating the pileup at the complex along Raymond Road, both the Health Department and the Department of Environmental Quality deemed it a public health hazard. The order allowed for the city of Jackson to use taxpayer dollars to place a dumpster in the complex and have its solid waste division come and pick up the trash until further notice. The property that was once filled with garbage is now cleared. Jackson City Councilman Vernon Hartley says that the city is already looking at addressing this for the long term.
The city's legal department is looking into how we can get to a responsible stage. And some of their needs are, okay, we got waste needs. Then they're going to have other maintenance needs. Also, the lighting around here, we have to figure that out. So there's a security here. So there's a lot of moving parts that the key is to get a good management folks in place. And the City of Jackson Legal Department is looking at how we can work something like that out.
So Hartley says that people have already expressed interest in managing the property. He says whoever takes over the complex would not be required to pay any back pay on water, garbage, and other utilities. And very, not what I'm going to say exciting, and exciting isn't the right word. It is an amazing story of a Jackson State University student who is now counting her blessings after surviving a tornado in Missouri. Missouri. So 20-year-old Maya Grimes was driving home last Friday when she got a call from her father telling her to seek shelter because of the weather. She soon found herself in the path of what turned out to be an EF3 tornado. She says that trees were falling all around her and the rain became intense. Her car windows were even shattered in this. Let's hear from her.
And when I got over here, the ambulance was literally right here. They were driving, trying to get around everything that was going on. And I was just like, can you please help me? Can you please help me? Other homes that are devastated with no third floors. And then I think about my 125-pound baby. It's nothing but God. Like, it's nothing short of a miracle.
In fact, her daughter, she survived with only minor cuts and burns. So when she says it's nothing short of a miracle, that is so true, especially when you look at all the devastation that was around that area where her car was. So we're very thankful for her making it through the storm to tell her story. Well, that is going to be it for WLBT Plus today. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. First Alert Weather Team will be here at 2:30 today to give you that look at your forecast. And I will be back tomorrow, and I hope that you join me then. You all have a great day. Bye-bye.